Problem we have taken up, we have calculated at point B, whatever the forces acting on point B we have calculated. Now we will move to point C so that we can calculate the value of P. Okay. Now I will draw the free body diagram of point C. So see here, this force is P, free body diagram of point C. All right. Then we have force in member CD. Then again we have force in member CB or BC, both are same, isn't it? Force in member BC. Now see here, what is the force in member BC we got? 223, isn't it? So but here we got minus 223. Here we are taking in the opposite direction. That means, shall I write minus 223 or plus 223? Plus 223 only. Okay. 223.07. This is point C. And what about the inclinations? 45 and this is 60 degrees. What about this one now? 360 minus 60 minus 45. 255. 255 degrees. Alright. Now we can calculate the values of P, that is FBC by sine of, yes, FBC by sine of angle between other two forces. Sine 45 is equal to FCD by sine of angle between other two forces. Very good. 60 is equal to P by sine 255. Now we know the value of force in member BC, isn't it? What is that? 223. So simply equate these two terms, you will get the value of P. No need to calculate a force in CD also. So 223.07 divided by sine 45 is equal to P by sine 255. So P is equal to 223.07 into sine 255 divided by sine 45, isn't it? Just multiply. You will get some value. Minus 223 point, same value. Check it once. (255) sine 45. Okay. So what is that? Minus. No problem. So the value is how much? 223.07. Okay. Copy down. Now we will take up another problem. Two smooth spheres. Two smooth spheres, each of radius 100 mm. Each of radius 100 mm and weight 100 Newton. rest in horizontal channel, rest in a horizontal channel having vertical walls, having vertical walls, the distance between which is the distance between which is 360 mm. Find the reactions. Find the reactions at point of contact, at point of contact A, B, C and D. A, B, C and D as shown in figure. Okay, very important problem. I've seen this problem many times. Yes. Yes. The value is how much? This one is minus or plus? 30. And why we got this one? Check it. While solving, you have to check these things. Yes, make a correction, that is, this is minus 304.71. Yes, copy down. So, very important question. So we have seen this question many times in previous question papers. It's very important. So see here, two smooth spheres, each of radius 100 mm and weight 100 Newton. That means each weighing 100 Newton and each radius is 100 mm. Okay. So now we have to calculate reactions at point A, B, C and D. Okay. So how to solve this one? So from where shall I start the problem? Inclined, perpendicular. Where is? See, previously we were having only one sphere or one sphere, two spheres. Simply we have not seen two spheres together in one problem, isn't it? So here it is on our judgment that which sphere we have to take first. So if you see this figure, which is independent sphere? Independent, what do you mean by independent? See this sphere, this is resting on first one. Okay, this one is applying force on this sphere. Okay, so this one is completely independent. Able to understand? This sphere is completely independent one compared to this sphere. The weight of this sphere is falling on this one. Okay, so before that we need to calculate what is the force acting on this sphere. Okay, so first what we will do, we will take the sphere, we will name this as 1. Okay, this is 1 and this one is 2. Okay, so sphere 1 is independent one compared to sphere 2, isn't it? So first I will take first sphere. Okay, so how to take that one now? How many reactions are acting on sphere 1? See here, one reaction is acting from this side, that is RD. Okay, since the surface is exactly vertical, so the reaction will be perpendicular to the surface, isn't it? Next, we have one more weight of the sphere, isn't it? What is the weight of the sphere given? 100 newtons, each weighing 100 newtons. Okay, so weight is going in downward direction. And what about another reaction from C, isn't it? We will be having reaction from C. This is RC. Now what is the inclination of RC now? How to calculate the inclination of RC? Yes? Radius is given to us. Okay, radius. What is the radius of the sphere given? 100 millimeters. Okay, now see here carefully how to calculate the inclination of RC. See here, I will take this one to the center. Okay, and this one, now you can see we have formed a triangle, isn't it? Now see here one more thing, this center, here also we have center, isn't it? Able to follow? This is also center. Once you take this line together, now you tell me what is this distance? 100. What about this distance? 100. What about this distance? Can you tell me? See, observe here carefully. Total is 360. Total is 360. Once you remove this 50 and you remove this 50, you will get this distance. Yes? 100. See, radius is 50, 100. Radius is 100. 100, 100, 160. Understood? Yes. So I will draw this triangle outside. So I will draw this triangle here. Right? So this is totally how much? 200. Very good. This is 200. What about this one? 360 minus 100. Minus 100 is how much? 160. Very good. So this is theta. We will consider this as theta. So cos theta is equal to 200 by 160 or 160 by 200? 4 4s are 4 5s are. Theta is equal to cos inverse of 4 by 5. How much? 36.86 degrees. So radiuses and this distance is actually given to us to calculate the angle of reaction C. Okay, understood? Now I will draw the free body diagram of this figure 1. So what is the weight? 100 newtons. Okay, next is R D. Okay, then we have RC. What is the inclination of RC now? 36.86 degrees. Alright. Now any other force we have? We have one force which is going in downward direction, RC and RD. That's it. No other forces we have. So what about this inclination? 36.86. 143.14. What about this angle? 126.86. Yes, 90 plus 36. Yes, this is 90 degrees. So simply we'll take up RC, will take first. RC by sine 90 is equal to RD by sine 126.86 is equal to 100 by sine 14. Now tell me, RC is equal to 100 into sine 90 divided by sine 143.14. Then RD is equal to 100 into sine 126.86 divided by sine 143.14. 166.70 newtons. And what about this one? Just change this value, sine 126 or sine 90. This is free body diagram of sphere 1. How much? Newtons. Okay, understood this one? Yes, easy, no? Yes, right. Now, copy down. Mistake what the students will do here is, they'll take the radius till here only. Initially I have taken this one. Okay, I was about to make mistake actually. Then I have taken up to the center of the center of another circle. Why? Because if you take this triangle, then we cannot calculate this value. We cannot calculate exact value of this one. However, this is total 360 minus 100. But how can you calculate this distance? Because radius will be somewhere here, isn't it? So always take the center to center distance. Yes. Understood? Yes. So now we'll move to we'll move to another sphere, that is sphere 2. So now, what about this one now? This is RA and this one will be RB. Now for this one, see here again, for this figure, RC will be acting towards the body. For this figure, RC will act towards the figure 2, okay, or sphere 2. So I will draw the weight first. What is the weight of the sphere? 100 Newton. We have one more reaction, that is RB. Okay. Then RA. Then we have RC. So RC, shall I take in this direction or this direction? Towards. Why? Because we are calculating reactions, isn't it? So we'll be taking RC. What is the inclination of RC with x-axis? We have calculated, that is 36.86. What is the value of RC we have? Value of RC. 166.70. 70 newtons. Okay. Now, how many unknown forces we have here now? How many unknown forces? 2. Okay. Then how many forces are there in this system now? 1, 2, 3, 4 system of forces. We cannot calculate with the help of Lamè's theorem. So we have to go with equilibrium equations or components. So we'll go with sigma x is equal to 0. So what is that? Ra minus 166.70 into cos 36.86 degrees equal to 0. So Ra is equal to what now? Tell me the value. 166.70 into cos 36.86. This is RCX and this is RCY, isn't it? So how much? 133.37 newtons. With the help of sigma x, we got the value of Ra. Now sigma y is equal to 0. See here how many vertical forces we have? Rb minus 100 minus Rcy, that is minus 166.70 into sine 36.86 is equal to 0. So what is the value of Rb now? One 199.9 newtons. So this is Rb and this is Ra. So we have calculated all the reactions, isn't it? Ra, Rb, Rc and Rd. So this is how we calculate reactions. Okay. How we have learned, see, we have started with vertical components, isn't it? We have started with components, parts of forces, resultant, so many things we have learned. So one by one, we are heading towards some different concepts, isn't it? So the concepts which we used in the previous chapter was only components and resultants. Here we are solving a type of practical problems, isn't it? What is the force acting at point B? What is the reaction coming from point B? What is the reaction coming from point A, B, C and D? All these things we are learning one by one, isn't it? So once the basics are not strong, if you don't know how to calculate the components, if you don't know how to calculate the resultant, then the upcoming problems will create problem. Okay. So you have to be very careful in studying the basic concepts. All the concepts should be completely cleared. Don't say that I'll skip this topic. If you say you will skip the topic, then it will be creating problem in the upcoming sessions. Okay, right. Pause it. So we'll take up another problem on engineering mechanics. Okay, take down the question. Two identical spheres, each weighing 200 Newton are supported as shown in figure. Determine the reactions at A, B, C and D. A, B, C and D. Okay. So the figure is given in the question. So this is the figure given in the question, and we have to calculate reactions at A, B, C and D. This is the point A given, this is point B, C and D. Okay. So in this question, if you see carefully, which sphere is independent? Which sphere is independent? What do you mean by independent? There is no load coming from other sphere. Okay. So this is the sphere. If you consider this sphere, there is load coming from this sphere, isn't it? What about this sphere? This sphere is applying load on this sphere, isn't it? So that means this sphere is completely independent. So we need to consider first this sphere, then later on whatever the reactions or whatever the forces applied by this sphere will be incorporated in calculation of this sphere. Okay, able to understand? So now in the question itself, they have mentioned that the sphere's weight, the weight of each sphere is 200 Newton. Sometimes what they will do, the total weight of the sphere is 200 Newtons. At that time what you have to do? Divided by 2, and 200 means 100 and 100. But here each weighing 200 Newton. That means each one of the sphere is 200 and 200. Okay. Now what about this one? This inclination is given as 30 degrees to us. Now we have to calculate reactions at this point. So how the reaction will act for the inclined plane? It will be the reaction will be always perpendicular to the surface. Perpendicular to the surface. Always the reaction will be perpendicular to the surface. Now see here, how many reactions will be coming over here? For this sphere alone, we will be having one reaction which will be going exactly perpendicular to this surface, isn't it? So what will be this reaction? RD. What will be the inclination of RD? What will be the inclination, this inclination? Yes, please. Reduce your volume. Okay. The voice is getting recorded. Instead of my voice, your voice will get recorded. Okay. So better you please try to decrease your volume. Okay. Right. So this is 30 degrees. So what will be this angle? This angle will be 90 minus 30, that is 60 degrees. Okay. So this will be 60 degrees. Fine. What about this one? What about this reaction? Again, reaction from the surface will be perpendicular to the surface, isn't it? This will be RB, and the inclination with this is with x-axis. So this with x-axis will be how much? 60 degrees. Okay. So this is one reaction. RB and RD, it's completed. Now we'll move to RA. Okay. How the reaction will come for RA? This is point A. So reaction will be exactly in horizontal direction because the surface is exactly vertical. So this is RA. Now considering the reaction at C, so when you consider this sphere, the independent sphere, reaction will come from the bottom, whereas when you consider this sphere, reaction will come from that side. Okay. Now I will draw the sphere, this will name this as sphere 1 and this as sphere 2. I will draw the free body diagram of sphere 1 first. So first we will take up this circle itself. Okay. So this is the center, and what is the weight exactly? 200 Newtons. Okay. Now we have one reaction here, isn't it, for this figure sphere 1? What is that? RD. This is RD. What is the inclination with x-axis? 60 degrees. Alright. Able to follow this one? Yes. Now weight is over. This reaction is over. We have one more reaction over here, isn't it? So how the reaction will go from this one, from this point? reaction will be in this fashion. What will be the inclination? Exactly inclined, isn't it? Parallel to the incline. So this will be 30 degrees. Okay, this is RC. Okay, now what I will do, I'll draw one more figure in which this is RC. Fine. So I'll draw one more figure wherein the entire sphere will be removed. So somewhere here, okay. This is 200 Newton. Then in which quadrant this force is acting? Second quadrant. If you want to see put on the plus point where the force is starting. So you will easily identify in which quadrant the force is going. So this is RD and it is making an angle of 60 degrees with x-axis. What about RC? In which quadrant? First quadrant. This is RC and this is RD. What about the inclination of RC now? 30 degrees. Now if you see this one, we have one more. So we know the angles. We can apply Lam's theorem, isn't it? So what will be the inclination between these two angles? 180 minus 60 minus 30. How much? 90 degrees. What about this inclination? 150. What about this inclination? No, sorry, this not this one. This one, right? 120 degrees. So we'll apply Lam's theorem here. So what happens? RD by sine of angle between other two forces, that is sine 120 is equal to RC by sine of angle between other two forces, that is sine 150 is equal to 200 by sine of angle between other two forces, that is sine 90. So can you tell me what is the value of RD now? RD is equal to 200 into sine 120 divided by sine 90, whereas RC is equal to 200 into sine 150 divided by sine 90. Tell me the value. RC is equal to and RD is equal to how much? RD is 100. Okay. How much? Then what about RC? 100 newtons. Yes, understood this one? It's very simple, right? The only thing which you have to do here is you have to extract the forces from the given figure. Okay. Now after this one, we'll move to sphere 2. This is free body diagram of FBD of sphere 1. Okay. Copy down this one. Pause it. Pause it. We'll move to another sphere, that is sphere 2. Okay. So we'll take up this sphere now. So free body diagram of sphere 2. Okay. So I'll draw the sphere here. And what is the weight of the sphere? Again 200 newtons. And what about this reaction? RB is going in second quadrant and the inclination is 60 degrees. Then we have RA, which is going in positive x direction. This is RA. And we have one reaction. When we consider this sphere, that means reaction will come from this side, isn't it? When you consider this sphere, reaction will be from this side. Able to understand? Yes. So what is the reaction coming from this point now? RC. So this is RC, and the inclination of RC is how much? 30 degrees with x-axis, isn't it? Yes. So again what I will do, I will draw the forces separately. That is, this is 200 newtons. Then we have another force, that is RA, right? This is RA. Then we have RB going in second quadrant and making an angle of how much? This is RB and it is making an angle of 60 degrees with x-axis. Again we have RC. This is RC, right? RC is equal to how much we got? 100 newtons. So this is RC, and angle of RC with x-axis is 30 degrees. Now you see here, how many forces we have here in this one? 4 forces. 1, 2, 3, 4. So Lami's theorem is not applicable for more than 3 forces. So when we have more than 3 forces, we have to go with components of forces or equilibrium equations. What are those equilibrium equations we have? Sigma x is equal to 0 and sigma y is equal to 0, sigma m is equal to 0. So see here, how many unknowns we have here? We know RC, which is equal to how much? 100 newtons. How many unknowns we have here? RA and RB. So 2 unknowns, 2 equations. What are those 2 equations we have? Sigma x, sigma y. If we have 3 unknowns, then sigma m is equal to 0. We will be having sigma m is equal to. How to use that? We will see. Okay. You understood this one? Now, when you go for sigma x is equal to 0, sigma x is equal to 0, we have inclined force here. We have inclined force here. So whenever you have inclined forces, what will happen? We will be having components, 2 components of each inclined force. So that is, this will be RBX. And what about this one? RBY. Similarly, this force also has horizontal component and vertical component. So this will be RCX and this will be RCY. Now, can you tell me what is sigma x from this one? How many horizontal forces we have? We have horizontal force RA, which is going in positive x direction. So, RA. Then we have RBX, which is going in negative x direction. So, minus RBX. Then minus RCX. Any other horizontal force we have? No. So, is equal to 0. Okay. So, what about RBX and RCX? Can you tell me what is the value of RCX? We don't know RA, right? We don't know RB also, right? Can I write RB into cos 60? Yes? Minus what about RCX? 100 into cos 30. 100 into cos 30 is equal to 0. Now tell me, RA minus RB, cos 60, what is the value of cos 60? Cos 60? Cos 60 is 0.5 is equal to 100 cos 30 is how much?
86.6 minus.
How much? 86.60. Okay. Understood till here? We are just simplifying the equation. So 100 into cos 30 I have sent towards right hand side. All these terms are there on the left hand side. We will name this equation as equation number 1. We cannot solve this problem further, isn't it? We don't know RA and even we don't know RB. But we have one more equation, that is sigma y is equal to 0. Sigma y is equal to 0. So see here how many unknown forces we have here? RBY which is going in upward direction and RCY is going in downward direction. So the forces which are going in upward direction will be positive and the forces which are going in downward direction, that is RCY, will be in negative. Any other vertical forces? Minus 200. Apart from that, no, right? Equal to 0. So RBY, what is RBY now? Can I write RBY into sine 60? Yes, RBY into sine 60 is equal to, what is RCY? RCY is 100 sine 30. 100 sine 30. If this 200 goes to the right hand side, it will be plus 200. So tell me, this whole value divided by sine 60 will give you the value of RB.
57.7.
How much? 50? 57.7 newtons. Okay. Now, so if you substitute RB in equation number 1, if you substitute RB in equation number 1, you will get the value of substitute here. Yes. How much? How much you are getting? Check it.
Previous करायचं तर 28.67.
Yes.
Later practice करायचं ना सर जेव्हा आता 28.67.
What is the answer now? You tell me. Quickly calculate. See, the thing is, you have to calculate separately. First calculate 100 into sine 30, that is 50. 50 plus 200 is 250. Okay, 250 divided by sine 60. See, the hierarchy of calculator will be different. What do you mean by hierarchy? See, first what you are doing, you are multiplying here 100 in one step. You are writing 100 into sine 60 plus 200. So they will take it. The calculator will take it in different fashion. Okay. So first calculate this one, then answer plus 200, then again divided by sine 60. Separately you have to do. Otherwise you use brackets.
288.67.
How much?
288.
Yes. 288.67 newtons. Now you substitute this 288.67 in equation number 1. Because you may not get 50. Why? Because the weight itself is 200. Weight itself is 200. And how come the reaction will be only 50? What about RA? 230.93. Yes, the same thing. 230.9391. So understood? We have calculated the value of RA, RB, RC and RD. Okay, understood? Right, copy down this one quickly. So now we'll take up some introduction part before going to another topic. It's very, very important topic. It is useful for you in all the subjects. Okay. And so it's quite interesting also. The very first thing is types of loads or forces. I think we have studied in the initial classes of engineering mechanics types of loads or forces. So we have three types of loadings. Okay, how many types of loadings we have? How many types? Three types. Okay, first is point load. Yes, first is point load. So we denote point load with the help of an arrow. Okay, suppose this is a surface, and whatever the reactions we have taken up, we have shown in the form of point loads. Point load will act on particular point only. Okay, it is as same as the secondary beam. What do you mean by secondary beam? Suppose for example I have planned one more beam over here. Okay, this is one primary beam, a main beam. Okay, now we are providing a separate beam, because sometimes what happens, you have to construct a wall over this slab, isn't it? So during that time, what you have to do, you have to provide one more beam to take the load of the wall. Okay, so that beam will create a point load on the main beam, that is primary beam. Okay, so we'll study all those things later on. Okay, another thing is UDL. What do you mean by UDL? Yes. Uniformly distributed load. So the meaning of uniformly distributed load is the units of this load will be E in Newton per meter or kilonewton per meter. We denote this load with the help of this notation. Okay, this is nothing but the symbol of UDL, uniformly distributed load. Okay, suppose for example a vehicle is passing over a bridge. Okay, so what happens over there? The vehicle will have huge amount of load, isn't it? So we convert that into kilonewton per meter, W per meter, or Newton per meter, or mm, or kilonewton per meter, like that. Okay, so per meter the weight is 10 kilonewton. For 10 meters, 10 into 10, whatever it may be, how many, whatever the surface it is covering, that is multiplied with the entire area or length. Okay, similarly next one we have UVL, so uniformly varying load. Okay, what do you mean by uniformly varying load? The load will vary from 0 to 100. The best example is the dam. In case of dam, what happens? This is dam, right? The structure which holds the water is dam. The portion at which the water is stored is reservoir. This is the place at which the entire water is stored is reservoir. This particular structure is said to be dam. We say Nagarjuna Sagar Dam, isn't it? We say Tungabhadra Dam. So many dams we have. So the dam is actually considered is nothing but this structure. Okay, this is reservoir. Okay, what happens here when the level of water gets increased or decreased? Okay, so the weight on this structure will vary. Okay, so when the load or when the weight of the water is still here, okay, the level of water is still here, then what happens? The entire weight will be varying. The top portion will have less weight when compared to the bottom portion. Okay, the bottom portion will have more weight, isn't it? The bottom portion will have more weight when compared to the top portion. Able to follow? Yes. So this is nothing but your uniformly varying load. This is the symbol of uniform. It will start from 0 to W per meter or kilonewton per meter, whatever it may be. Okay, able to understand? Yes. So suppose for example a vehicle is traveling from different slopes. Okay, so at that time also what happens? We'll be having uniformly varying load again. Okay, the weight will be exactly acting at the downward portion maximum, whereas when compared to the topmost portion of the bridge or beam. Able to understand? Right. So these are the three forces which we will be studying in this topic. Okay, one is point load, another one is uniformly distributed load, and third one is uniformly varying load. Copy down this one. Now types of supports. So these are very, very important topics which we are studying now. This will be, helpful for you till your final year, because theory of structures or structural analysis, all these things are there, the basics. These are the basics of those subjects. Okay. So next is types of supports. Now the basic support is roller support. Roller support is denoted by this way. And roller support has how many reactions? Roller support has only one reaction. Roller support has only one reaction, and always, in this case also, reaction will be always perpendicular to the surface again. Okay. So always roller support has how many reactions? One reaction. This is the reaction. Able to understand? Roller support has how many reactions? One reaction. Okay. Next is hinge support. What do you mean by hinge support? Yes, we denote hinge support. We denote hinge support in this fashion. Okay, we denote it with this fashion. So hinge support is something wherein we'll be having two reactions. One will be in, suppose this will be Ry, and another reaction will be in horizontal direction. This will be Rx. Okay. Somebody said, or can you give an example of roller support? Okay. So what happens, when we test a beam in laboratory, okay, we'll be testing beams in labs also. Okay. So what happens there? You need to provide one fixed support. Suppose this is one beam which I have to test this beam. Okay. How much this beam can take the load. Okay. So in the laboratory, you have to provide at one side, you have to provide fixed support, whereas on the other side, you have to provide roller support, a roller. Okay. Why? Because when you apply the load, there will be stresses developed in the beam. Okay. There will be stresses and forces developed in the beam. So to move the beam freely, to elongate the rods and to elongate the beam freely, we provide this roller support here. At the same time, what happens? Because of temperature effects, okay, when the temperature is very heavy, what happens? The material will expand. So to get free expansion, to give free expansion to the beam, we provide roller support. You might have seen in the bridges also, they have a ball and socket joint, and below the deck and above the pier. In the joint, they will be providing ball and socket joint. That means that support is allowed to move. Certain amount of flexibility will be there. Okay, there will be some sort of flexibility so that it will not crack. If the temperature rises, there also what happens? It should not get cracked. At the same time, when the load is more, then due to that particular load, it should move the stresses should distribute properly in the section. That is why they provide a roller support. Okay. Here we do not have roller support, we have fixed support in RCC structures. However, we have simply support. Suppose for example, when I want to reduce the moment at that particular section, I need to reduce moment. So you will be studying all those things. Sometimes complications will come. Sometimes many complications will come. Suppose for example, you people went for any structure or any site, there the people ask you to give the design of the slab. Okay, how much rods to be provided in the beam, how many rings to be provided in the beam, and that time sometimes few columns will fail. Sometimes what happens? We analyze that before giving the structure, before giving the structural design, we analyze first. So during that time, if suppose this column is not capable of taking the load of this slab, So what we do, we design the beam in such a way that the load from this beam should not fall on that column, but it should fall on the neighboring column. So the designing, the placement of the steel, and the placement of the extra reinforcement, it will be different in when certain columns is not capable of taking the loads. Okay, all these things we will be studying one by one. Okay, so the thing is, you have to be strong in these basics. Okay, understood? Whatever I have told you just now, it just bounced from your front, isn't it? Yes, I can understand. Your faces are like this. What sir is telling? I can understand. The ball came in front of you and it just got bounced back, isn't it? And the wicket keeper, which is standing behind the batsman, is also lost the ball. The ball is gone, right? I can read. Okay, no problem. We'll be studying all these things one by one. Okay, in the third year, and you people are still in second year, you have to study structures, solid mechanics, strength of materials, mechanics of materials. Then we'll be having structural analysis 1, 2, right? So many things we'll be studying. But thing is, you have to pay large amount of concentration. Okay, you have to practice. You have to fill the books. You have to fill the books continuously. Just by seeing, just by looking at the board, classes seems to be very interesting. Just to listen and go home and play PUBG. Presently, PUBG is over, no? Fire, Free Fire. What is? Yeah. Don't do that. Focus on the subject. Focus on what? Focus on subject rather than focusing on gadgets. Okay, rather than focusing on brands, right? Which brand of watch, which brand of shoes, right? So many things are happening these days. Anyways, so hinge support is one thing where we have two reactions. Okay, and another one I was talking about is fixed support. What do you mean by fixed support? This is nothing but your fixed support. Is it fixed or roller or hinge? It is fixed. So we denote fixed support with the help of this one. Okay. So how many reactions are there for hinge support? Two reactions. For fixed support, we'll be having three reactions. How many reactions? Three reactions. So one is in vertical direction. This is Ry, one in horizontal direction, that is Rx, and another one will be moment. Okay, understood? Why I have taken in anti-clockwise direction? Because this is the beam, right? So when you apply load on the beam, my beam will try to get deflected in this fashion, isn't it? So this support will create anti-clockwise moment to take the beam in original position. Okay, one by one we'll see. Okay, so these are this is fixed support. No, only one. This is just a simple notation. Okay. So these are the three important types of supports. Okay. One more support is there. Which is I think that is nothing but your ball and socket joint. So ball and socket joint is something where we have Ry, Rx and Rz. It comes under the category of three-dimensional structures. Okay, three-dimensional ways we'll be having a support, ball and socket joint. It will rotate in three directions. Okay, so that is nothing but Rx, Ry and Rz. Okay, copy down this one. Yes. Otherwise, we'll take up types of beams also. So, First one is simply supported beam. So what do you mean by simply supported beam? The beam which rests on two supports. Okay, the beam which rests on two supports is simply supported beam. Suppose for example this is the beam and it is resting over two supports. This support is roller support, okay, and this support is hinge support. So this is also what beam? Simply supported beam, the beam which rests on two supports. Okay, similarly we have another beam which is cantilever beam. What do you mean by cantilever beam? The beam which is fixed at one end and free at other end is known as cantilever beam. Okay, similarly we have overhanging beam. What do you mean by overhanging beam? The beam which projects away from support, the beam which projects away from support, that is the beam is projecting like this. So then this beam is said to be overhanging beam, or else we can say it is the combination of simply supported beam and cantilever beam. We have one portion which is cantilever, whereas one portion is simply supported. Okay, and sometimes you will be having overhanging beam at this both the sides. Okay, see this beam, this is overhang, this is not overhanging, right? We do not have beam on the other face. If we provide beam on the outer face, then it is overhanging beam. Okay, then we have continuous beams. Continuous beams, it's not there now. You will study in the solid mechanics. Okay, no problem, that's not required. Copy down. So now we'll take a problem now. A simply supported beam is shown in figure. Find the support reactions. Find the support reactions and moments at all points. At all points. Give me that chalk. So this is the figure given in the question. So we have to calculate reactions at A and D, and also he is asking us to calculate moment at all points. What do you mean by moment? Moment we have seen, right? You people have remembered what is moment. Okay. So now before solving the problem we have to place reactions. Okay. So this is the symbol of hinge support, isn't it? What about this one? This is roller support. Hinge support has how many reactions? 2 reactions. Roller support has one reaction. So see here, this is one reaction, and I'll name this reaction as RAY. Okay, RAY, reaction at A in Y direction. Similarly, my reaction at A in X direction will be towards the beam. Okay, it will not away from the beam. Okay, it will be towards the beam. So this will be RAX. All right. Next we have D. How will be the reaction? One reaction, that too perpendicular to the surface, that is RD Y or RD, that it depends, because when you have two components over there, two forces, you take it as Y or X. When you have only one reaction, you can place directly RD. Okay. So now how many reactions, unknown reactions we have? RAX, RAY and RD. Okay. So now we'll solve these type of problems. We'll solve these type of problems by using our equilibrium equations. We cannot solve these problems with the help of Lami's theorem. Why? Because the forces are not concurrent. See the force, the direction of this force is different. Direction of this force is going in downward direction. Whereas in the previous problems, all the forces were acting on one point, isn't it? One particular object. Whereas here, the forces are acting at different points. Okay. So now we'll take the first equilibrium equation. What is the first equilibrium equations we can take? Sigma x is equal to 0. So how many horizontal forces you can see here? Horizontal forces? Only one force which is going in positive x direction, that is RAX. Okay, plus RAX. What about another force, another horizontal force? No horizontal force, isn't it? So is equal to 0. This means that when you do not have any horizontal forces and you have one hinge support, then that horizontal component will be equal to 0. Okay. Are you समझ में? When you do not have horizontal forces in the beam, do we have horizontal forces? All vertical forces are acting on the beam. So this will become 0 directly. Now we'll go for sigma y is equal to 0. So sigma y is equal to 0. How many vertical forces are there, you see? RAY, which is going in upward direction. RAY. Then minus 20, minus 30, then plus RD. Plus RD is equal to 0. So can you solve this one? RAY plus RD is equal to 50. We can name this equation as equation number 1. Now RAY plus RD is equal to 50. We have taken sigma x is equal to 0, sigma y is equal to 0. Next we will take sigma m is equal to 0. So now to calculate moment, or in these type of problems when you want to calculate reactions, unknown forces, we select this point, because here how many unknowns are there? Two unknowns. When you calculate moment at this point, what happens? These forces will become 0, isn't it? Yes, you remember? What is the formula for moment? Force into perpendicular distance. Force into perpendicular distance. When you calculate moment, what you do? You keep your thumb on point A, isn't it? So as soon as you calculate moment at A, these two forces will become 0. So I'll take moment at all forces about point A is equal to 0. So now tell me. See here. First take 20. 20 is going in which direction? Always when you calculate moment, keep your thumb on point A and see the force 20, it is going in clockwise direction. So 20 into 4. What about 30? 30 kilo? See 30 into 4 plus 4, 8. So plus 30 into 8. Next, minus RD into 12. Minus RD into 12. Any other force? These two forces will become 0. Why? Because I am calculating moment at A. Okay. Is equal to 0. Now solve this one. 20 into 4 is how much? 80. Plus 8 3s are? 8 3s are 24, no? Then is equal to 12 RD. Can you tell me the value of RD here itself? 26.67 newtons. Now substitute the value of RD in equation number 1. You will get the value of RAY. Kilonewton. Yes, this is not Newton, this is kilonewton. What about RA? RAY is equal to how much? Kilonewton. Understood this one? Yes, it is very simple, right? First, sigma x is equal to 0, then sigma y is equal to 0, then sigma m. Now sigma m, selection of point is very, very important. The point at which we have maximum, I could have calculated moment at B also, but I have taken moment at A. Why? Because if I calculate at this point, RAX and RAY will become 0. Okay. So ultimately we can get the value of RD, then after calculating RD, you can calculate RAX or RAY. Okay, copy down. Then the question is not, the solution is not over. Why? Because we have calculated reactions only. We have to calculate moment at all points. We have calculated moment at A, right? Now we have to calculate moment at B, C and D. Okay, copy down. B, C, right? And always remember, moment at supports, moment at hinge support and moment at roller support is always 0. Moment at roller support and moment at hinge support will be always 0. Always 0. There will be no moment at point A and also if you want you can calculate. Okay. Now we will calculate moment at B, moment at C. Now how to calculate moment at B and C? So see here I am writing here moment at B is equal to, I am not writing 0. Okay, moment at B is equal to, see here I am calculating moment at B. So I will place my thumb over here. Okay. So now see the force RAY. RAY is going in which direction? Positive direction. See RAY. Okay. So RAY into perpendicular distance till B is 4. Okay. What about RAX? RAX is passing through point B. So no perpendicular distance. Okay. There is no perpendicular distance. This point, this RAX is passing through point B. Okay. Similarly, what is the next force? 30 kilonewton. See 30 kilonewton is going in which direction? Clockwise direction. So plus 30 into force into perpendicular distance, that is 4. Okay. Next we have RD. See the value of RD. See the direction. Put your thumb on point B and see the force RD. RD is going in again anti-clockwise direction. So anti-clockwise direction means minus RD into 8, isn't it? From this point to point B will be 8 into 8. So now what is the value of RAY and RD? We have all these values, isn't it? What is the value of RAY? 23.33 into 4 plus 4 3 is a 12 minus 8 into RD. What is the value of RD? 26.67 into 8. Tell me the value. 0.8. Check it once. See, this value should be calculated separately. This value should be calculated separately. Then you add. Or else you put all the values in bracket. What is 4 into 23.33? 93.2 plus 120 minus 26.67 plus into 8.
13.36.
Huh?
213.36.
This one.
Yes.
236. Now add all these terms.
Minus 0.16.
Minus 0.04. 16 or 4?
Minus 0.16.
Okay, 0.16 kilonewton meter. What are the units of moment? Kilonewton meter. Okay. Next, moment of all forces about point C. Now check it. RAY into 8. RAY into 8. Then minus 20 into 4. Then minus 20 into 4 minus RD into 4 again. Tell me the value. RAY is how much? 23.33 and RD is how much? 26.67. Calculate through. You write all these values in bracket. Okay. If you write these values in bracket, then only you will get proper answer. This expression should be in one bracket. Then minus, again open the bracket and write down this expression. 0.04. Tell me the entire value. Don't give me separate values. Open the bracket and write down all the values and give me the complete answer. Minus 0.28 kilonewton meter. Okay. 0.04. Tell me the correct value. Any of two people should get the same value. Minus 0. Okay. Anyways, 0. Kilonewton meter. What about moment at D? 0. Moment at D will be 0. Moment at A will be 0. But at the intermediate points, moment will exist. Small value will be there. Okay. Copy down. Yes. A simply supported beam AB AB. Yes. What happened? A simply supported beam AB of span 6 meters is loaded as shown in figure. Is loaded as shown in figure. If RA is equal to 2RB, if RA is equal to 2RB, determine the value of X. Determine the value of X. Three kilonewton. Okay. Copy down. Copy down the figure. Just for the. So these are the forces given directly. That is, they have not given simply support or roller support directly. They have provided arrows, that is reactions. So this is, we'll name it as RA and RB. So the given condition is RA is equal to 2 RB. It is given. RA is equal to 2 RB is given in the question itself. Okay. So now we'll start solving our problem with the help of same equilibrium equation, that is sigma x is equal to 0. So if I go with sigma x is equal to 0, so can you tell me, do we have any horizontal forces in this beam? No horizontal force, isn't it? All the forces are vertical. So no horizontal force. So sigma x is not valid, or we cannot use it. Even though if you use it, you will not find any force, horizontal force. Okay, next we'll go for sigma y is equal to 0. So we have vertical forces again, right? So RA, then we have 9 kilonewton, it is going in downward direction, minus 9. Then we have minus 3 plus RB. 30? It's not 30, it's 3. Okay, it's 3 kilonewton. 3 kilonewton. Okay. So sigma y is equal to 0. RA minus 9 minus 3 plus RB is equal to 0. We have RA is equal to 2 RB. So can I write here 2 RB? So 2 RB minus 9 minus 3 is minus 12. So minus 12 can I send it? Is it okay? Yes. So 4 RB is equal to 12. So RB is equal to how much? 4 ones are 4, 3s are. So RB is equal to how much? 3 kilonewton. I got the value of? Okay, sorry. Yes? 3. Fine. It's 3. So 3 ones are 3, 4s are. So RB is equal to 4 kilonewton. Fine. I got the value of RB. Now we have come across sigma y. Sigma x is not useful here. Now we'll move to sigma m is equal to 0. So which point shall I calculate? I'll calculate at point A. Why? Because I don't know the value of RA. So what I will do? I'll calculate moment at A, so that this will become 0. One unknown will be there, that is x will calculate. We can calculate. Okay. So moment of all forces about point A is equal to 0. So keep your thumb on point A and see 9. 9 into x. Similarly, what about 3? Plus 3 into 6 minus RB into 6, isn't it? Is equal to 0. What is the value of RB? 4. So 9x plus 6 3s are 18, 6 4s are 24 is equal to 0. So how much? 9x minus 6, no? Send this towards right hand side, it will become positive. So x is equal to 6 by 9, 3 2s are 3 3s are. How much? X is equal to how much? 0.66 meters. Understood? Yes. Simply, first is, in all the problems on these beams, the very first thing is sigma x, sigma y, sigma m. The problem will be over. In all the beams. Okay. It's very simple. The only thing you need to do, you need to know is the equilibrium equations, how to use that. Many students, what they will do, they will make mistake here many times. I have seen many answer sheets, many scripts. What they will do, RA, here it is going in minus 9, no, it is going in downward direction. So what they will do, RA plus RB, it is going in downward direction, so they try to place it on the other hand. They will place equation over here, then they make so much confusion over here. So better, whatever the forces, upward forces positive, downward forces negative, and lastly equate it to 0. Okay, it's very simple. Copy down.